Hello, series World fans. In this video, we break down the latest trailers and share our predictions for episode 44. Ets and Mercan's engagement ceremony has gone smoothly, and a day has passed. In a daytime scene, the two are traveling together by car. Mercan gazes at her engagement ring and says, "We were about to get divorced, and now we're preparing for a wedding. It feels like a dream." Their journey takes them to Dermis's house, the very place where their love first began. The house holds deep meaning for both of them. Mercan recalls, "The first night we stayed here, I finally let my feelings out." As they reflect on their past, they talk about how their relationship grew out of what once seemed impossible. Ets admits openly that he fell in love with Mercan at first sight, while Mercan playfully denies feeling the same right away. Excited, they plan to share their wedding news with Dermis and invite him to the ceremony. Looking back on everything they've been through, they agree their love is anything but ordinary. It's something unique, even a little chaotic. Their playful dynamic continues as Ets teases Mercan, saying, "If I'd known you were this stubborn and difficult, I wouldn't have come near you." Mercan shoots back, "You can still give up." But Ets responds with heartfelt intensity, "I'd face death, but I'd never leave you." Their banter ends with smiles and blown kisses, reaffirming their bond. Meanwhile, Ashley is alone in her room when her mother, Musian, brings her medication. Ashley, still full of resentment, says, "I'll never forgive you. You chose Mercan for Ets." Musian tries to reason with her, insisting she had no other choice. After her mother leaves, Ashley spits out the medicine, determined to regain her strength and carry out her own plans. Later, Ets and Mercan arrive at Dermis's house, where they are warmly welcomed by the elderly couple. As they sit and talk, Dermis shares unexpected news. They will be moving out in 2 days because the house is too large and costly, and they've decided to sell it. Ets and Mercan feel a sense of sadness, as the house holds special memories for them. Dermis offers a touching perspective, "This house is precious to us too. But what truly makes a home is the love inside. Otherwise, it's just stone." With tears in her eyes, Mercan turned to Dermis and said, "You're right. Love is built into the foundation of this house. This place makes me so happy." Seeing her so emotional deeply moved Ets, and he began thinking about doing something special for her. While the elderly couple went to the kitchen to prepare a meal, Mercan joined them to help. Meanwhile, Ets stepped aside and called Semmel, instructing him to begin the process of purchasing Dermis's house. At the company, Semmel took the call, unaware that Nazir was secretly listening nearby. Afterward, Nazir contacted one of his men to gather information. The man reported, "I'm still following Ets. They've arrived at a house in the village." Determined, Nazir replied, "Find out who the house was sold to. I've already made an offer. I want to buy it before Ets does." Later, Ets went to the kitchen but couldn't find Mercan. He discovered her in her room, still upset about the house being sold. Wanting to lift her spirits, Ets comforted her and said, "Since we won't have much time left here, let's make these last few days enjoyable." They decided to go for a walk in the garden and even turned it into a playful competition over who could dress the warmest. As they strolled together, Mercan reflected on Dermis's words. He said it so beautifully, "A home should always be filled with love. Let's make sure ours is too." Ets smiled and replied, "There will always be love in our home, because I will always love you." Just then, Dermis joined them, holding a small sapling. He shared a heartfelt story. 50 years ago, my wife and I planted a tiny tree in this garden. It grew into something strong and beautiful. Now it's your turn. Plant this one, and let your love grow with it." Ets and Mercan were touched by the gesture. Ets began digging the soil, but Mercan couldn't resist teasing him. "Have you never held a shovel before? Or do you just not know how to dig?" she joked. Laughing, Ets handed her the shovel and said, "Then you do it." Mercan tried, but quickly gave up, admitting her back hurt. Ets pulled her close by the waist and teased, "Oh, your back hurts. How convenient." He leaned in to kiss her, but Mercan stopped him shyly, saying, "Someone might see us." In the end, they planted the sapling together, a meaningful symbol of their love. Mercan gently watered it and said, "I love taking care of plants. We planted so many trees in our garden." As she began listing fruit trees, everything seemed normal, until she mentioned peach, and suddenly, Ets became unusually energetic, hinting at a playful and curious moment to come. Mercan was surprised at first, but then she smiled, clearly delighted. She had just discovered something new she could use to tease Ets. No matter how much Ets tried to stop her, the word peach somehow found its way into everything she said. His sudden hyperactivity only made things funnier for her. Ets tried to cover her mouth to silence her, but Mercan burst out laughing and ran off, shouting peach. He chased after her and, after a struggle, finally caught her, only for both of them to fall to the ground together. Laughing, Mercan said, Okay, calm down. I won't say it again. But learning something new about you makes me really happy. Just as she was speaking seriously, she suddenly shouted peach again and ran off. Ets was now completely at a disadvantage. Mercan had found the perfect way to tease him endlessly. Meanwhile, in the kitchen, Binaz was preparing food when Nermin entered, looking deeply upset. In tears, Nermin said, I saw my son in my dream again. He died for nothing. I want you to make lokma for him. Lokma is a traditional sweet prepared in memory of the deceased, almost like an offering. Binaz was moved by her pain and briefly considered revealing the truth, that Murat was not actually her son. However, she held back, feeling the weight of that secret. She decided to wait for the right moment, believing that one day, Nermin deserved to know the truth. Elsewhere, Demet and Nazir were having lunch at a cafe. During the meal, Nazir received a call from his man, who informed him, I found out who the village house was sold to and made an offer. Satisfied, Nazir ended the call, only to be confronted moments later by an angry Semel. Semel lashed out, saying, How shameless can you be? I know you're trying to buy that house. Nazir replied mockingly, It's just an investment. Furious, Semel snapped back, You're a sick person, just like Asli. All you care about is destroying their peace. Either you stay away from them, or there will be consequences. The tension quickly escalated into a fight. Demet tried to step in and separate them, but Nazir pushed her aside harshly. She hurt her wrist, and Semel immediately stopped, concerned for her. Nazir offered a brief apology to Demet before leaving. Worried, Semel told her, Let me take you to the hospital. Your wrist looks bad. But Demet insisted she was fine. Still upset, Semel added, Your brother isn't thinking clearly. What he feels isn't love, it's obsession. Love doesn't look like this. I'm sorry, but Nazir is no different from Asli. Demet said nothing in response and quietly walked away. Now the big question remains. Who will win the race to buy the house?